got to see in the 1990s, which was actually around 1996, was Flash Gordon. And I did get the action figures because they had them for the 3 for $10 bin at KB Toys. So I got all the action figures back then. Since then, they've been disappearing, whatever. I think I still have this version because I used to pretend like this was me and this was Stacy. Because it looks just like Stacy and that looked just like me back then, back in the 20s, not 20s, the 1990s. All right, Flash Gordon in flight suit. I think I still have that figure as well. But I don't remember the last time I've seen any of the other guys, which I do like this one a lot too. Cobalt is really one of my more favorite ones. And Ming was never one of my favorite ones. General Lynch was not one of my favorite ones. So yeah, Cobalt was one of my favorite ones. Prince Talon was pretty cool too. So these are really, really good action figures to have. She comes with the lion stars. It's like when Ming's stooges see these stars, they'll never wake up. Oof, that's pretty rough to say. It's a euphemism for she's a murderer or a killer. Princess Thundarr uses the visual comlink to communicate with other members of Team Flash. All right, so lately also Orbital Bacon Bits is Orbital Bacon. He does Saturday morning cartoons. Every once in a while he'll do Thundarr, not Thundarr, sorry. Thundarr would be great. He does Flash Gordon, and I'm like, I forgot about this toy line, and lately I've been really kind of jonesing for it again. I still got all the skateboards though, because I love the skateboard slash, it's supposed to be like a hoverboard. And then she has one more thing, this thing I was just talking about, the skateboard slash hoverboard. It's really called a rocket rolling air sled. Princess Thundarr lives up to her name when she bolts into the blue on her air sled. All right, so who is this Princess Thundarr? Her species is Lionid. Now, when I was a kid, they actually had Flash Gordon toys again in the 70s. And one of the figures was a cat man, like a lion man. So it wasn't a lion woman. I would love to get that figure and then see if these are similar enough in height that they can probably be married or whatever, related. Her threat level is a double plus 7.5. Sounds like something you'd do on Dungeons and Dragons. Her known Mongo devices are Lion Star, which we just saw, Rebel Visipad, and basically it's everything we just saw right here. And Princess Thundarr, primitive Lionoid. Now she has joined the hated Team Flash and plots. Oh, this is Ming actually reading. I was thinking, plots my overthrow. What is that? The narrator's talking about being overthrown? All right, so Princess Thundarr, primitive Lionid. Now she has joined hated Team Flash. I don't really remember how his voice goes. I'm trying to be like his voice. And plots my overthrow. Laughable. If it were not so stupid. Princess Thundarr still fights in the outmoded animal fashion with tooth and claw. How quaint. However, my spies tell me she is armed with a dangerous and deadly lion stars and is equipped with a Visipad. Worse, she has learned how to pilot an air sled. Ugh. Is all that work of that meddling. This is all that work of the meddling Flash Gordon and his fantastic but pathetic friends. It's kind of making my throat dry talking like that. It's a little harder to read right here when it's getting darker. I kept skipping that one. All right, no matter. I shall send the mercenary Cobalt, which is a really cool looking dude, by the way, on a little Lionid hunt. I could use the new fur robe or maybe perhaps a rug for my throne room. All traitors shall be destroyed, so that I, Ming the Merciless, can reign supreme and unopposed. Boy, that was hard to read like that. All right, so she's going to be a very limited as far as the articulation, but you know what? I'm okay with that now. I used to not be okay with that back then. And as soon as I get on here, of course, the cat's going to do something to get attention. He's over there digging a hole to China. I seen in the animated TV show, Princess Thundarr rolls to the sky, across the sky with her air sled, and this is her air sled. I think one of my Garfield action figures, you know, the little Garfield action figures are the figures you got with your Happy Meals. I think he has a peg on his foot, and he's actually riding on one of these in one of the boxes I have. I don't know why purple, because I guess the red ones are being used. Okay, so everybody in this collection, even bizarrely enough, the print style, everybody has an air sled, which doesn't make any sense. I don't even know. I don't remember if Ming has one, but I was like, this is weird. He has wings. Why would he need an air sled? But yeah, it's just kind of one of those toys that they kind of just went overboard with trying to make sure everybody got one. So everybody, So I kept them all because I thought they were really cool. Personally, I like skateboarding. I guess I was trying to be a skateboarding thing. This is another problem you'll come into if you ever get one of these loose. Her tail might come out. It does come out when you're playing with it sometimes. So if you're looking for these and you find a loose one, just check to make sure you can see the tail from the front. But just, make sure she has a tail and it's still attached. So that's one of the things that does come loose. Now, it's pretty cool that this tail's got like a little thing at the end of it. And it is pretty pliable. I mean, having her sit down is kind of difficult. Plus, she has the V crotch, so she spreads her legs when she sits down like that. I hate that. I don't mind too much if they have a motorcycle that she's riding on, because she has to spread to get around that motorcycle. But I just don't like V-shaped crotches. I just think that's awful. She doesn't have any articulation in anywhere but her thighs. Her shoulders go around 360 degrees. And I think her head might do a little bit, but that hair is not made to make her hair go all around. Her head can go all around. All right, let me see if I can zoom in to get a better look on it. All right, so she has a very beautiful face, actually, for a plastic piece from this time period. And by the way, I know that some people are asking, well, how tall is she? Because she doesn't look like she's a G.I. Joe size. And actually, at the time, she was G.I. Joe size, because G.I. Joe Extreme was on at this time. She is about 4 5/10 or 4.5 inches tall. And for everybody else in the world, that makes her about 11.5 centimeters tall. All right, so let's take a look at that face, and let's take a look at some of the paint apps. Now, the red hair she has, and she has a little bit more of a orange skin because, well, that's her species. If you ever saw the original 1970s action figures of the Flash Gordon from the 70s cartoon, not the movie, the cartoon, they had a lion guy, and he had a much more yellow skin tone. She's got green eyes, very sultry looking, beautiful lips. And again, her head does not turn. If you try to turn her around, it's just going to almost make her head pop off, it seems like, but I'm not going to risk it. She has beautiful silver armor painted on. She has red gloves that has finger holes in it so she can work her iPhone and iPad. That's the beauty of the 90s. We didn't have iPhones and iPad. She has a metal bra / swimsuit, so she can go out and go swimming, which cats are, notoriously fond of doing. And some red paint right there to connect it with, I'm guessing, it looks like it's still armor. It does not look like it's cloth. She also has some stripe motifs going on right there that's really beautiful. Her jogging pants, or her tights, or whatever you want to call them, is a deep purple with a red lining and a V at the top, like a lot of swimsuits wore back in the 90s, like Baywatch. She also has kneecaps that are silver and silver shin guards. The motif that was running up here with the red lines, kind of like tiger stripes, are running down here as well. She has 3 across the knee and then 2 on each side. They go all the way around the back. So they didn't cheap on the paint like a lot of people did back in the 90s. And then she's wearing a flat foot, although one of the feet are arched. And she has a hole in just one of her feet. All right, and she has 2 holes on here, which is not necessary for what she can do. Also, she can hold, as far as I can remember, the lion stars. So just going to put them in her hand like that. Now, they don't hold on too tightly, so I wouldn't just trust them to lay around and do nothing. This little iPad device, whatever, back in the day, we didn't have iPhones, so this was kind of like what we thought it was going to look like in the future, to have a pad that you can communicate on. We had to have a keyboard. We didn't have any concept that we'd ever have something that we touch screen, except for, well, I would say Star Trek The Next Generation had that idea going on around that same time, yeah. They were about the only people that were forward thinking like that. Everybody else thought, nah, it's a bit too crazy. She can hold it in her other hand as well. And then her skateboard, or as they call it, the rocket rolling air sled, it's got 4 wheels on the bottom. and it completely looks like a hoverboard, like something that would be like hovering around on. It's silverish looking, metallic-ish almost plastic. We know the type that you usually get swirls in. There's a few little swirls right there and there. The paint on this one's purple. Now, I remember definitely that Flash Gordon had red, and I think Dale Arden had green on hers. So there were different colors for this paint job right here, but all the boards are pretty much like this. Here's the thrust that comes out the back, and I'm not sure if there's some reason for that little thing right here, but why ask questions? So let's go ahead and get her on the board. So you put one foot on there. You don't have another hole in the other foot to put on there, but it makes for a great stand. Get down. Look, this is like the first day you've ever done this. He has never gotten on the table before. He got on the table a while ago, going up on the chair, and now he's doing that. Oh, man. Tom, he has just got to get some attention. All right, I think you just wanted to see the cat one. All right, so it rolls, and it's a stand at the same time. So it has two functions. It has play value, plus you can keep her on your shelf with her stand. Her tail, you can like have it going like this. I don't know if you'd want it to do like that, but you can. Trying to figure out some other ways to make her tail look like it's going, like waving in the wind kind of idea. I guess that way it looks kind of like she's going one way and her tail's just kind of going flowing backwards. All right, and then you can have her like she's in attack mode, like she's ready to attack. And then the con thing, I wish there was a way to like plug it underneath here or something, get it out of the way, because she's not going to obviously have it in combat. It's not really something that I would imagine that's a play thing. I mean, yeah, you know, Star Trek came with a bunch of little features, like little things that doohickeys that people use during the show, but they didn't use them quite often. And I've only seen a few episodes since I started watching Orbital Bacon of this show, and I don't remember ever seeing them even use this thing, but maybe I wasn't paying attention. So I do wish there was a way to park it somewhere else. Like, maybe I could stick it in here. I don't know. I just wish there was a way to kind of hide it out. But if you do put her on your shelf, if you think she's so cool that you want to keep her on your shelf, you can just put it right there in front of the board. It'll be fine. Again, the board does roll with her on it just fine. And the only reason she might be tipping over is I got her front foot on there. I could always switch that up and make her, what is it called, goofy-footed? I can't remember. I used to skateboard. Let's see. When I skateboarded, my left foot stayed planted while my right foot pushed. I think people called me goofy-footed back then. It was a long time ago. So let's try it with her. I guess this is standard way. Yeah, it's fine. It rolls really well. I mean, it's a fairly nice rolling, and this is Wheels Wednesday, so I guess we can talk about that in Wheels Wednesday. But yeah, it's a fantastic figure. I definitely recommend not going to eBay and getting these. I recommend you going back in your time machine, back to Toys or KB Toys, and getting these 3 for $10 and 3 for $10 bin. I paid about $12, which is the cheapest I saw for this, shipped. Well, about $11 with tax and shipping was included for this figure. And they showed that she did have like it was been opened or something, which I was like, hey, getting the package is fantastic. I do want to have like a little checklist again. I might still have my old cards. Like I kept a lot of my old cards in manila envelopes back in the day. I actually may still have some of these things. I may have kept the cards up here, like the flash card, which is clever. From the Secrets of Files of Ming, the Rebel Hit List. Yeah, here we go. So I did read this information. Let's see what it says. It's the moons of Mongo cast desperate shadows across the desolate planet. The world of Mongo lay devastated, a hopeless vessel of slavery, adrift under the rule of the mighty emperor Ming the Merciless. His power is absolute, his evil complete. As Ming reaches the tyrannical grasp beyond Mongo, his wretched eyes narrow upon Earth. Nothing can stop him except Flash. Flash Gordon, that is. A hip, flip, skateboarding teenager with an attitude. Wow. A freak accident throws Flash into a strange world. Hey, that reminds me, there's no, the professor, he was in that cartoon. There's no action figure of him. He's not the kind of figure you really want to play with, but hey, just saying, he was a very important person in that show. And it wasn't some kind of strange accident. The professor had a lot to do with it. Now to save Earth, a stranded castaway must save Mongo. Flash and his team of rebels must master Mongo technology to thwart Ming and his diabolical plans to conquer the universe. If Flash ever wants to play video games on Earth again, wow, I'm surprised they didn't say play Super Nintendo on there. He will have to fight for real, because this time there's no replay. Wow, that's pretty intense. Again, if I get another figure, it's definitely going to be Cobalt. I am pretty darn sure I have this figure. You know what I was thinking? It might be in one of these boxes. It might be in my favorites. And I think I still have this figure. I think somebody actually made a comment on the thing saying he had midriff. And I may still have this figure. I may still have these 3 figures. And I know I had all of them one time, so I may even have Prince Talon, but I really do like Cobalt. I don't know what happened to him, but I definitely would like to have another one. So let me know in the comments, which one's your favorite? Let me see if I can get a little bit closer without having to get too close to the camera. All right, we got Prince Talon and Princess Thundarr, the Barbarian. We have Flash Gordon in Mongo outfit. General Lynch. He looks like he's wearing a football outfit. We have Dale Arden and Flash Gordon in flight suit. Now, actually, there was a Trifibian flying car thing, and I used to keep him in that, so I don't know if I still have that. I hope I do. And there's also Cobalt the Mercenary and Ming the Merciless. I know I have Ming's chair, his throne, because I use it as, He-Man in Space, that Skeletor, for his throne, because it looks perfect for him. It's like a giant serpent cobra, head over the chair. It's a really cool looking thing. There's nothing on here that shows all the other cool things that this toy line had a lot to offer. Well, thanks for listening, and let me know again, which one's your favorite figure? And do you actually own any of these? Did you actually own any of these? And do you remember KB Toys?